What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the CFE podcast. It's been a couple weeks, and today, me and Beck, we're going to talk about a little bit of week 3 recap, week 4 recap, and then talk a little bit about upcoming week and get into a little bit of Nebraska talk. So, Beck, I feel like it's been a good couple weeks of college football. So, kind of talk me through a little bit of week 3 recap.
Definitely. It's been good. We're fully back in it at this point, and the college football season has not disappointed. I guess we can start with the early kick on week 3 with Clemson, Georgia Tech, a game that I think we both called correctly with the Yellow Jackets getting the win versus Clemson.
Yeah.
And even just tying in week 4 with Syracuse going into what almost is no longer Death Valley after this year's results, and just slapping up Clemson. This Clemson team is just really disappointing.
It's really hard for me picking them as my preseason national champions.
I mean, I had them in the semis, so I'm not much farther off than you.
I know. Just makes me sad. I thought this was the year that they put it all together. But I mean, when you're in a position to win the game and then your opponent sprints out their field goal unit and makes a 52-yarder?
It was something like that.
To win the game, you can't be mad at that. Like, that's pretty impressive.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, but it's just been downhill for Clemson this whole year.
Yeah, they've been so bad that everyone's starting to question whether LSU is actually good or not after beating them, which is not a good sign for Clemson.
No, it is not a good sign. But Georgia Tech, they look pretty good, honestly. 4-0. Who do they play this week?
It's not a hard game. I remember that. They play. Find it. They're at Wake Forest, so could be a little bit dangerous. I was watching Wake Forest play last Thursday, and they got some players. They're better than they were, but Georgia Tech should handle business.
Yeah. I'd love to see Georgia Tech in the playoffs.
I don't think they're that good, especially compared to their ACC counterparts. But we'll see how Florida State keeps looking. But I think Georgia Tech has to win out and then lose to Miami, because that Miami team is good.
They're very, very good. Absolutely. What about A&M Notre Dame? I know our guy Nate Borkshire came down with the game-winning touchdown catch.
Yeah, I was going crazy for that one I was actually back home because I went to the Nebraska game that day, and my parents are looking at me like, "Why are you excited?
Yep.
Who is that guy? Random tight end from Nebraska? Never heard of him."
It was a good catch too.
It was.
Like, really good.
But yeah, that game was insane. Back and forth the entire game. Probably the best game. One of the best games I've watched. That and the game right before it were probably the two best games this college football season so far. And that the game came down to Notre Dame screwing up the extra point, I think. I think I'm remembering that right. Screwing up the extra point on their last touchdown.
Yeah.
So that gives A&M the shot to just go and win it with a extra point at the end of the game. Just, man. Two really good teams, I think.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, Marcel Reed just throwing it all over the yard. 360 passing is crazy for Marcel Reed.
Especially under 50% completion, too.
Yeah, their leading wide receiver, Mario Craver, 7 receptions for 270 yards.
I think he had 2 over 60. I think that were both touchdowns. Or if not, one of them was close.
I think Notre Dame is a really good team. They just played two really good teams right off the bat.
Just ran into two top 10 teams to start the season. I think in Miami and A&M.
Yep. But yeah, I think Notre Dame will get better and better as the season goes on. But and then my favorite game from week 3, Georgia Tennessee. This game was crazy. Joey Aguilar started off like 17 of 17, which was nuts. And it reminded me of the Alabama Georgia game from last year.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was a crazy game. It was so good. I didn't know. Did you get to watch all of it?
No, I missed all but the last probably 8 minutes because coming back from the Nebraska game. But
Yep.
just kind of tracking it on my phone, getting back, and I watched the 4th down Georgia touchdown, the missed Tennessee field goal, and then overtime. Just Tennessee finding a way to lose this game was the most Georgia thing. Just Georgia finds a way to win these games because they're Georgia, and it's just inevitable.
Yeah. Yeah, that Chris Brazzell touchdown was crazy. I don't know if you saw that one. He was like 1-on-1 in coverage with the cornerback, and it was a crazy catch. I don't know if you got to see that one.
Yeah, I've seen that one back.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a good game. And yeah, Georgia they just always find a way to win.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But anything else from week 3?
I mean, I'll shout out. While I was watching the overtime of Georgia Tennessee, I had on my laptop the end of the backyard brawl, Pitt West Virginia, that also went to OT. So that was a fun end to that game as well. Surprised. I think Pitt found a way to lose, or West Virginia found a way to win that game, which was impressive for me for Rich Rod year 1. So I'll just shout that game out.
Yeah. I did not get to watch that game, so I can't comment on that one too much. But yeah, that week 3 was good. Week 4, Beck, what do we got for week 4?
So I can start with the 11 o'clock window game that I watched the whole way through. Texas Tech at Utah. 2 really good teams, but that Texas Tech D-line smothering what was supposed to be the best O-line in the Big 12 with Utah. Plus, Texas Tech's starting quarterback going out mid-game, the backup coming in going 15 to 17. And I think he had 2 or 3 touchdowns. Really impressive by Texas Tech in this game.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think they really solidified themselves as the Big 12 favorite so far.
Yeah. Yeah, I didn't get to watch that game. But yeah, when I saw the score, I was surprised, yet also affirmed because you and I were a lot lower on Utah this year than a lot of other people were. So, yeah. So,
and one more note on that game, real quick, is Tech had 14 penalties in this game compared to Utah only had I know it was low single digits, and they still dominated this game. Shows how much better they were.
Yeah, that's crazy. I didn't know that. But yeah, the only 2 games I had, because I was at the Ole Miss game that day. But yeah. So I'll talk about the Ole Miss game. You and I were talking in that Tulane, they were able to drive the ball down the field, but they just weren't able to finish drives off. And their defense held Ole Miss at times for sure. But overall, Ole Miss just looked pretty dominant. Trinidad Chambliss, their quarterback, looked really good. Their run game looked really good. Passing looked really good. and listening to Josh Pate this week, they're like, you got Austin Simmons, you got Trinidad Chambliss. Like, who are you going to start? So I'm very curious to see who Ole Miss is going to roll with for the rest of the year, especially with a big LSU game coming up this week. So, yeah, Ole Miss looked good. I know you and I were pretty low on them coming into the year, so it's cool to see them, kind of taking off a little bit. So,
I mean, I had them going 5-7, and they're already 4-0. So,
yep.
Not my best take so far.
I think I was right around that with you.
I think you were 6 or 7 wins. So
Something like that. But, and then the other game I had was Illinois, Indiana, which was just an absolute beatdown that I did not see coming, nor did I think a lot of people saw coming. Illinois, 2 rushing yards. Indiana, 312. And I just felt so bad for Illinois.
Yeah. I turned this one off at halftime. Indiana, 7 sacks. Mendoza looks good. 21-23 for 267 and 5 tutties.
Yep.
He looks a lot better than
Curtis
Rourke last year, yeah.
Yep.
Could be a problem for the rest of the Big Ten.
I'm really glad Nebraska does not play Indiana this year.
Even though I wanted to beat them so bad.
I don't think we would.
I don't think we would. We'll see him in the Big Ten title game.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. What else you got for week 4, Beck?
Yeah, a few others to touch on. The big game in the SEC, Auburn at Oklahoma. Mady playing hurt, still pulling out a win. He didn't run a bunch. Auburn held him in the backfield a good bit, but that Oklahoma defense, 9 sacks.
I heard about that.
Insane. And that's a good Auburn offensive line, too. That Oklahoma defense is going to carry them. If they can make it out of this stretch without Mateer, that with maybe 1 loss, they'd be sitting real pretty for the rest of the season. So,
yeah,
that the Oklahoma defense has just enough offense to complement it that they're going to be really good this year. But
who's Oklahoma's backup quarterback? Last year,
because last year it was Jackson Arnold.
Yep, but the other guy that started over Jackson Arnold.
Oh, yes. Yeah, it is Michael Hawkins. It was the guy who came in last year. So he's not terrible. He's not great, but he's got some experience. Shouldn't be just a bystander back there. So, and if you get to 20 points with this defense, you're winning football games. So,
yeah,
be really interesting in a few weeks when they play the Red River.
Yeah, that will be interesting. I'm curious to see how Texas will be at that point.
Right. See if Arch actually looks like a real quarterback.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on with him. But, yeah. Anything else from week 4?
One more. I wanted to shout out Missouri because them beating South Carolina, holding South Carolina to -9 rushing yards, while Missouri runs for 285.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think this game was as close as the scoreboard said. Missouri winning 29-20, but
I saw the field goal that put them at 29. That's all I saw of that game. But yes.
Yeah. I watched the 4th quarter at least of that game, and Missouri was able to run the ball pretty much at will, and Sellers doesn't have the wide receiver core he needs, especially coming back from injury to keep up in the SEC. So
I haven't got to watch them a whole lot, but I've just heard that. I know you had the Missouri running back is like your sleeper, running back of the year.
Hmm.
And the Bo Pabula, I think that's how you say their quarterback's name. Um,
Prabula.
I've heard that they're both just tearing it up.
Yeah, Prabula looked really good. I watched him versus Kansas, and then he looked really good again for South Carolina. And Ahmad Hardy, the running back, as well as Jamal Roberts, the other running back. I think they
Mhm.
both go for 100 yards almost every game. Plus,
Yep,
Bo's another 70 out of the backfield as QB. So
yep,
the dangerous team.
yep, absolutely. Yeah. Um, yeah, good stuff. Beck, you want to get us through some week 5, possibly the most loaded week of the college football year?
This before other than rivalry week, I think this will be the best week of college football. Good time for Nebraska to have a bye.
Yes, I'm
So
with you.
start us out with a Friday game, TCU at Arizona State, two of the Big 12 contenders that I think have a shot. I think TCU pulls this one off in Arizona.
I was
I
thinking that too.
mhm. Just looking at it, Hoover, a quarterback for TCU, is really good. He's been balling. And then their wide receiver, let me get his name real quick. Eric McAllister for TCU, who last week versus SMU had 8 catches for 254 and 3 touchdowns.
That's
Looked
crazy.
really good. I watched those highlights. He looks really good. So, from what I saw from Arizona State so far this year, they struggle with the pass a little bit. And I think Hoover's able to do enough that TCU wins that game and sends Arizona State to their second loss of the season already,
Yeah.
which is equals what I had them going all season. So be surprising.
Yeah, TCU looks good so far.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they look really, really good. Yeah, I think I'm going to roll with TCU on this one. Just haven't been super impressed with Arizona State yet this year,
Yeah, which
unfortunately.
they could turn it up, but
Mm-hmm.
we'll see. So second game I got is USC at Illinois at 11 o'clock. I'll let
Big
you
name.
start this one out as the Illinois fan. What are you thinking?
Okay, first off, I'm not an Illinois fan. I enjoy Illinois, but I'm not a fan. I am a Nebraska fan. No, I know
Okay.
it. I don't think Illinois is going to win this game after what we saw last week. I think USC is a really good offense. I think this will be a decently high scoring game, but I wouldn't be surprised if USC won this game by 10 or more. So that's what I have to say about that.
Mm-hmm.
I would love to see Illinois win, but I just don't think. I don't know if Illinois has the firepower to keep up with USC, but we'll have to see. I don't know.
Yeah. So actually going into this prediction, I was going to pick Illinois until I looked a little closer and I saw that USC's run game this year is actually really good. They're averaging 252 yards per game on the ground.
Mm,
Now they haven't played much difficult competition, but they have played 2 Big 10 games versus Purdue and Michigan State.
yep.
So not complete slouches. And they put up 260 last week on Michigan State, which
Yep.
I think is going to be decent this year. So I think it could be a little too much of the same. I think this is a one-score game. So I think it's single digits at least. I'll say that. I think it's a single digit game, but I think USC wins this on the road because of that run game, which is a new thing for USC.
Yeah, and who was I listening to? Probably Josh Pate, but Josh Pate was saying that he thinks that Maeva may be one of the better quarterbacks Lincoln Riley's had because he fits really well into his system. Like he's not a
Mm-hmm.
flashy quarterback, but he just does what he needs to do. So I think that's really interesting.
More that Lane Kiffin mold, who just plug in quarterback in and win.
Yep. So I think I think that USC will I think they'll get the job done. So I they're able to put up points, and Illinois is not as able to put up points as quickly as USC is. So I think Illinois will get down, and they won't be able to come back, unfortunately. So, yep.
Yeah, I'll be interested to see this USC defense perform, but if they can get a few stops, that'll be enough, I think.
Yeah, absolutely. Next game, Beck. What do we got?
So next one I got up is Ohio State going to Washington.
Low key, maybe the best game of the day.
I would agree. And that's with 2 top 5 matchups that we're going to finish out the week with.
Yep.
But I've wanted to pick this all off season. And I think I'm just going to do it. I think Washington wins this game. I think they have enough on offense with Williams and Coleman to put just enough, plus one of the best home atmospheres in the country.
Yeah.
And they do just enough to win this game. I think Williams has this coming out party at quarterback.
Preseason, I picked Ohio State to lose this game.
Mm-hmm.
I think Ohio State wins barely.
Mm-hmm.
I think it'll be really, really close. I just think Ohio State is maybe just a little more talented than Washington. But
I think they're quite a bit more talented, and I think that difference is enough.
I think it'll be a close game, but I'm excited to see. I'm really excited for this game. I always love watching Washington when they play, just because I think their stadium is one of the coolest stadiums in college football.
Yeah, it is. I really didn't know enough about it till the Michael Penix year, and when they went to the national title game, and I watched multiple Washington games that year, and I'm like, okay, this stadium is incredible.
Yep, absolutely.
Yeah, I wouldn't bet on it, but I think Washington pulls this off, but we will see.
I'd love to see Washington win.
I'd be so excited. I think Ohio State would still go on to make a Big Ten title game, probably, but
yeah. I will say Julian Satin has thrown 3 picks already this year.
Mm-hmm. And Williams has 6 touchdowns, 0 picks.
Yep.
Plus 200 yards rushing. So.
And their running back already has 9 touchdowns, which is crazy.
Coleman's good. I watched him last year a few times. He's really good. So, if they can, it all depends on if that Ohio State defense is insanely good, or if that Texas offense was just really bad. And I'm starting to think that Texas offense is just bad.
It definitely could be.
So that's what's giving me my confidence.
Yep. All right. What we got next?
So next one I got is LSU at Ole Miss. You have a bad Ole Miss run defense going against a possibly even worse LSU rush offense. I honestly, this is the only game on here that don't have a pick for right now because I have this one completely up in the air. So, what do you have? See if you can sway me.
Um, I think that okay, being at Ole Miss last week,
Mhm.
they were playing Tulane, and there was a lot of empty seats. So I'm very curious to see how playing Tulane to playing LSU, how that stadium atmosphere will change. And I think that if it is packed, I think it could be a really hostile environment. But overall, it was not hostile at all when they were playing Tulane. I think if it's hostile, Ole Miss wins. If it's the same stadium that I was in last week, I think it's a toss-up game. Um, I do think Ole Miss offense is better than LSU's offense, but I think
Mhm.
LSU's defense is better than Ole Miss's defense.
Yeah, I think this game comes down to LSU's offense versus Ole Miss defense on if LSU can score enough. Because I think Ole Miss gets 20-24.
Yeah.
I think LSU's defense is good enough to hold them from there. I just don't know if LSU can score that much.
Yeah, I don't know. I think I may run with Ole Miss on this one, but LSU's defense is so fast and so good.
Hmm.
But the only time we've seen them play,
I mean,
I
you
feel like,
looked good. They looked good versus Clemson and Florida,
yep,
which neither team might make bowl game at this point.
I'm going Ole Miss. I'm picking Ole Miss.
Here, here's my question for you. How did Trinidad look running the ball? Because I see he got a lot of yards last week versus
Uh,
Tulane.
he looked confident and physical running the ball.
Is he bigger?
I believe so.
At least looking from the stands.
Yeah, he looked big.
Okay, he's
Look, he's 6'1", 200 pounds.
okay, and pretty fast then.
He seemed fast, yeah.
Okay,
So, yep, I'm going Ole Miss.
that seems to be what everyone's going with, which makes me want to swing the other way because everyone was picking Illinois last week versus Indiana.
I think it's a close game, but Ole Miss wins.
I have to agree because I think we got to get used to the new college football where teams are going to go 10-2 and be the best team in their conference. I think LSU is going to be up there in the SEC, but I think this is one of their losses. I think it's 26 or something like that. I think it's really, really close.
Yep.
But I agree. I think enough offense occurs. Yeah, this game comes. I think this game comes down to turnovers. Whoever wins the turnover differential will win this game. I think that's not always the case, but I think in this game specifically, I think that is what determines it.
Yeah. It'll be a good one. I'm excited.
Mhm.
All right. What do we got next?
So we got two more left. The two big ones of the week to close out the week, and we'll start with Alabama at Georgia. I literally have one thing written down for who's going to win this, and it's Georgia at home. Because I think the streak is now 33 straight home wins for Georgia. Plus, seeing them just find a way to beat Tennessee, I think that is enough. Plus, a little revenge for last year. I think that's just enough to
I
get them
think
this win.
I think Georgia by 10 or more.
Really?
I do.
You're not buying in the Alabama revival?
No. No, I'm not. Also, quick fact, tickets as low as $356 to this game.
Book it.
And then the even more crazy one, Penn State, Oregon, tickets as low as 456. And Beaver Stadium is huge.
Insane.
So,
Both would
yep,
be insane environments, though, so understandable.
I'm going
But
Georgia.
I'm going Georgia, but I'm surprised you say by that much. Because one, Alabama still owns Georgia. I think also listening to Josh Pate earlier this week, I think the record's like Alabama's 9-1 versus Georgia in the last 10 matchups.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it's close either way. And I don't understand the Ty Simpson hate from the Florida State game. I don't think he was as aggressive as he needed to be, but I think he looked good in that game. And he's been like 80% accuracy in the few games since then. They haven't played anybody, but he's looked really good. So I think that's enough to keep it close. But like I said, it's Georgia at home. I think Georgia at home overcomes big bad Alabama.
Yeah.
So that's why I got Georgia. I'd be surprised if it's a blowout.
Yeah, I don't know. Just something within me.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm excited for that game. It'll be really fun to flip back and forth between that game and Penn State, Oregon.
Oh yeah, such a good evening. But speaking of Oregon, Penn State, that's our last game we're talking about for week 5.
Yep.
And it really just again, I have one thing written down for this game. Can Drew Aller do it? Does he have enough to win this game for Penn State? Because I was looking back at the Big Ten title game, and I think what was it, like 280 rushing yards for Penn State, and Oregon still won.
Yep.
So the great Penn State rushing attack can do all at once, but it doesn't matter if you can't stop Oregon, and it doesn't matter if you have no pass game to back it up. So that being said, I think Aller does do enough. Also, because these are my national championship picks, and I think they have to win this game if they're going to be on that trajectory.
Yeah.
I think Penn State sneaks it out. I just have a feeling Franklin finally gets his win. Also, Jim Knowles at DC dominating Oregon in the playoffs with Ohio State is also a big factor.
Yeah. Um, I think I'm going to take Penn State by no more than 7 points. I think it probably comes down to a field goal made within like the last 5 minutes of the game. I think it's going to be a lot of back and forth.
Yeah, I think the whiteout is just enough.
And honestly, not as high scoring as you would probably think. I'm thinking like 24-20 type game, something like that.
See, I'm lower scoring than the Big Ten title, but I think it's more 31-30 type of thing, game winning field goal.
Yeah.
So
It'll be a good one. I'm excited. I'm really excited to watch Dante Moore play.
agreed. I think always fascinating to watch. Plus, this to finally get to see this Penn State wide receiving core and see if it's actually any better or not.
Yep. I agree. It'll be a good one.
Mm-hmm.
Who is your upset pick for the week?
So my first upset pick is Washington over Ohio State, like I said before.
Yep.
But as a different one, I'm going with Cal to recover from losing 34-0 to San Diego State, going on the road angry and beating Boston College.
Cal lost 34-0 to San Jose State.
San Diego State,
Oh,
excuse
San
me.
Diego State.
Even so, coming off, they beat Minnesota 2 weeks ago
Mm-hmm.
and then lost 34-0 last week.
So does that mean Minnesota is really bad this year?
I think Cal's a good team, hence I'm picking them in this game. I think they had a catastrophic experience last week. That's what I think. We'll see. Minnesota plays someone decent this week. They host Rutgers, so we'll find out this week.
Yeah, I did not get to watch that Cal Minnesota game, so I did not get to see what Cal looked like. But yeah, I'm just surprised that they lost 34-0 to San
Yeah.
Diego State.
I was looking back the next morning. I'm like, excuse me? Like,
Yeah, that's
losing
crazy.
to San Diego State, fine. 34-0, problem.
Not fine. I'm
Yeah.
looking. I wanted to see the box score for it.
They just couldn't get in the end zone. The true freshman quarterback had threw 2 picks. And
Yeah,
he
Cal
looked
for
good versus
turnovers.
he looked good versus Minnesota too. So
Yeah, interesting. Okay, my upset pick for the week. Duke is favored by 4.5 against Syracuse at Syracuse. I am picking Syracuse to win that game.
on the Fran
Syracuse
Brown train.
home. Fran Brown just had a massive win against Clemson. So I think I'm gonna take Syracuse, and then since you picked another one, I'll pick another one too. I am gonna pick. What was the other game I had that I wanted to take? Oh, I'm gonna ride with Will Compton, as you told me. Cincinnati to beat KU.
I think that's going to be a really good game.
I think it will be a really good game.
I everyone's saying that KU is a favorite in the one of the favorites in the Big 12, and I still don't buy it.
I think they're a good team.
I think they're a good team. I think they win 7 or 8 games. I don't think they're a threat to Texas Tech, Arizona State, TCU.
Yeah,
So
yeah. I'd love to see Cincinnati win that game.
yeah, Sorsby's been balling since the Nebraska game, so we'll see how he does.
He has. And this is Cincinnati's second trip to Kansas City this year, which is crazy.
Right. And one of them that they were the home team. So
True. It's true. All right. Now comes to my favorite time of the podcast. Talking
yes, sir.
Nebraska. So how was it to see those glorious all red uniforms in person?
They were pretty amazing, especially to be seated in the corner of the end zone where they did the tunnel walk out of and see it right away there. That was pretty great.
Yep. I thought that looked so good.
Yeah, they looked clean. I prefer the home jerseys, but these were a good alternate.
Yep. Absolutely. Yeah, the Houston Christian game was really fun. You know, just one of those games, just no stress. You know, it was just fun. It was good. I enjoyed it a lot.
I will say, watching in person, TJ Lateef is a baller.
Yeah,
He looked really good in person. So
I'm sure.
that's exciting.
I'm sure that was really fun to watch.
Yeah.
But yeah, not a whole lot to comment on from that game. But um, so the Michigan game.
The big game, everyone picked us to win, including both of us.
Yep. I was really disappointed we lost that game. But overall, I didn't feel like we deserved to win that game, so I wasn't overall super upset that we didn't win because our lines got absolutely buried. Um, we had like no run game the entire game.
Partially
And
by choice, I think. I think we
yeah,
gave up on the run way too fast,
I,
but
I would agree. I would agree. But overall, yeah, it was just not. I think the only reason that game was close was because of our receiving core and because Rayola made some really good plays. Um, and the people who blame Rayola for the loss is just crazy to me.
I have no understanding for why anyone could blame him for the game. Because I'll just say the stats down because I haven't written down. He was 30 of 41 for 301, 3 touchdowns and a pick, which I'm not surprised. You're gonna throw a pick when you're giving up 7 sacks to Michigan.
Yeah.
But I thought he played amazing.
I thought he played amazing too. He worked well with what he had and he made the plays when necessary.
Hmm.
And the only reason this game was close too was because of the Hail Mary.
Which was awesome. I say yes and no on that because it basically we shouldn't be giving up a 75-yard touchdown run right before the half either. So that basically just canceled out the Hayes
Yep.
75-yard touchdown run. So, but
Bro, when that Hail Mary happened, because I was texting you, and I was like, "What are we doing?" And I was like, "I guess we're trying the Hail Mary." And you texted me right before Barney caught it, and you said, "That's why." 3 laughing faces. I was like, "Oh yeah, this is gonna be good." It was like while the ball was in the air, I got the text from you, and I was like, "Oh yeah."
oh, that's incredible. That was after I had already jumped up and ran around my apartment 3 times. So
It was crazy watching that Ole Miss game. I like just stood up and started high fiving, you know, my family and stuff. But yeah, it was fun. But
that's awesome.
so yeah, I guess where does Nebraska go from here, Beck?
So real quick, I will say I was I feel better about this game than I think most people because we played poorly and we still almost won,
Yeah,
which I think is a really good sign.
I
Because
agree.
we played poorly last year and we got ran out of the stadium by Indiana.
Yep.
So, and we played our best game and we still lost to Ohio State. I think if we play our best game this year, we beat Ohio State.
Yeah.
So I think that's a good sign. But to answer
Yep.
your question, going from here, I think we need to figure out the running back depth and not force Emmett to run the entire team, even though he's good enough to.
Yep.
But I think we got Michigan State next week, not this coming week, but week 6. Seeing what USC did to them, I think we can do the same thing. I think USC put up 550 yards of offense on them. I think we could put up 500 on them.
Yeah.
And yeah. Maryland looks a little tough now, and then the guaranteed loss to Minnesota.
Yeah, I was. Yeah, so about Michigan State, I was talking to my dad,
Mhm.
and I think we beat Michigan State pretty handedly, actually. Um,
I'm too scarred to say that confidently, but I do
this is
think we win that game.
I do think we win. I just think that yeah, Michigan State's defense looks pretty suspect, and so does ours, I will say. But with it being at home, I think we get the job done. And then
Yes and no on our defense because we gave up big plays, but I didn't think we looked bad otherwise. I mean, we
our
held Michigan to like what
our
were they
pass,
1-8 on third down until the last drive.
yeah, our pass defense looks really good.
They do.
The line just looks how the line thought we would look.
We're small.
We are. So I think with the Maryland Minnesota series, we need to split that. If you look at it on paper, we should win both, but we will not. We will lose one of those games. And I think it's going to be Minnesota.
Agreed. Maryland does look good. Their freshman quarterback looks good, but I think our pass defense is enough
Yep.
to throw him off, and I don't know if Maryland has the run game. Let me see what their offensive numbers look. Yeah, they have the worst rushing yards per game in the Big Ten. So
Who does Maryland play this week?
this
Bye.
week they're on a
Yep.
bye, and then they play Washington, and then us, both at home.
Yep.
And really, their only tough game is going into Camp Randall last week, which was impressive
Yep.
and not a good sign for Luke Fickell.
Wisconsin is just not good.
Don't make Wisconsin a passing team. Use your resources. I could have told him that when he tried to go spread it when Fickell first got there and tried to go spread with Wisconsin. That was never going to work. And now he's basically at -1 years right now, trying to reset. So
Yep.
we'll see if they give him time.
I don't know. Yeah. I I'm not overly worried about Nebraska. But I think we're sitting somewhere in the 8-4, 9-3 range. At best 10-2, but a lot of things are gonna have to happen for us to go 10-2.
Agreed. I think before this, if we win this game, I think we're looking at 9-3, 10-2. And I think now, because we lost to Michigan, it's 8-4, 8 or 9 wins.
Yeah.
Because, yeah, it's schedule the loss versus Penn State. And then, as I keep saying, schedule the loss at Minnesota. And then
If
whether it's
yeah,
Iowa, USC, something like that, we drop another, possibly.
if we can win these next four, that would be awesome.
We can win this next 4. I think we're back in the playoff talk, honestly. None of them are impressive wins on paper, but you beat Michigan State at Maryland, at Minnesota, home versus a bad Northwestern team, which should look a lot like the Houston
Yeah.
Christian and Akron games.
Yeah. I swear, Beck, if we're 9-2 going into Iowa and lose to them, I'd be so mad.
It would happen too. Dude, if we're 9-1 going into Penn State,
That'd be crazy.
and then we lose the last 2 games of the season,
That would be insane.
that'd be such a downer on an amazing season if we win. 9-1 and then lost to Penn State and Iowa to finish the season.
Yeah.
That'd be such a buzzkill. And it would still be an incredible season. I think this is the best team I've seen since Bo Pelini.
I agree.
What I've seen on the field. Like, even just taking it from the Akron and Houston Christian games. Like,
Yep.
I have not seen us do that. I mean, last time I saw us do that was the Northwestern game, like 5 years ago, 4 years ago.
Yeah.
We beat them 63-7 for no reason at all.
Yep.
That was, yeah.
I think we beat Sparty, we beat Maryland, we beat Northwestern, we beat UCLA, and we beat Iowa.
So 8-4.
8-4. You could sway me. We go 9-3 by beating Minnesota, but I don't think USC.
I need to see USC this week. I don't know that USC hasn't played anybody. Granted, neither is Penn State. Maybe Penn State's terrible, but
that could be true. Yeah, I think we have.
I think 8 is I'd like to say 8 is the floor, which would be an amazing season.
I think 7's the floor.
Yeah, you're right. 7's the floor, which would still be our best season since Riley. So, I'd be happy with 7. I'd be satisfied with 8. I'd be ecstatic at 9, which I think are all definite possibilities.
Yeah. Yeah, I think the wins, the wins that I see on the schedule, the only guaranteed wins I see on the schedule are Northwestern and UCLA, and that's it.
Agreed. And then the next ones would be Michigan State and Iowa.
Yep.
Even
Yep.
If this wasn't the rivalry match, I think Iowa would be. Honestly, I think Iowa's the second toughest game left, just because it is.
Yeah.
That or Minnesota, because both of them just playing
Yeah.
them in every year in the West, Big Ten West. Just we know each other too well.
If we can win both Maryland and Minnesota, that would be huge.
Sitting there six wins already after 7 games.
Yep.
Playing Northwestern after that.
If we could be 7-1 going into the USC game, that would be money.
I would, yeah. We would find a way to lose that last 4, but
Probably.
We can't have nice things at Nebraska. But
I am a little sad that USC has a bye week before they come play us.
yeah, that's not great, but we'll see. I think that'll be a very interesting game. We'll see if we can fix our run defense by then. But we're texting back and forth earlier this week. And I think I said us USC is going to be like 52-49 or something stupid like that. So
yeah, and that better be a freaking night game.
it will be with the all blacks.
It's got to be.
It's gotta be.
Little NBC game.
They were just waiting to make sure that one of us isn't 2-5.
True. But, yep, we're going to beat Sparty.
One game at a time.
One game at a time. But, Beck, this was fun.
Yes, sir. Always fun to talk some college football.
Absolutely. But anything else before we close out?
I don't think so. Just ready to come back after a camping trip Friday night and settle in for an amazing day of college football.
Absolutely. It'll be a good one. So, all right. Well, until next time, we will talk later.
See you.
Bye.